Then guys, solve the following equation. So try it out. Pause the video. Okay, so how do we do this? So there's many ways to do this. Our goal is something we learned even in pre-algebra is we have to get x by itself, right? So how do we do that? We want to get rid of what? The radical, right? So the square root we want to get rid of. So what we need to do is square. So I can certainly square this and square this. If I have to square this, I have to square this side too. Or I can bring one of them to the other side. Usually the easiest way to do this is one of them, bring it to one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring x minus 2 square root of that into this side. So I'm going to have 3x minus 2 is equal to 2 plus x minus 2. Okay, now what? I'm going to square both sides, right? If I square both sides, square root goes away. Go ahead, take a second to follow this. If I square both sides, so I'm gonna actually show that step here. So what happens when you square it? You're gonna get what? 4 plus 4 x minus 2 plus x minus 2. Right? Now let's combine like terms. Go ahead. So let's combine like terms. As you notice here, 4 minus 2, that's just going to be 2, right? And here, nothing, but now what? What can I do? Our goal is basically to get what? X by itself, but I want to get the square root of x minus 2 by itself. So what I'm going to do is I want this by itself, right? So go ahead, take a second to get that by itself. Okay, so I'm going to move these guys. I know that's 2, so and the x I'm going to move it to this side as well. So this would be what? 2x minus 4, right? Okay, now what? I can square both sides, but let's make it easier for us. So it's going to be x minus 2 is equal to 2 square root of x minus 2. So what did I do? I just divided by what? 2, everything, right? Because they're all even. So now we want to get rid of the square root of x. So I'm going to square both sides. Square both sides. Go ahead, take a second to work that out. So if I follow this, you're going to get x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then common mistake is they forget to square both of them, so you got to make sure that a plus b squared is equal to a squared times b or b. Right? So I'm going to do that. Okay? That's going to be 4. You square when you square a square root, the square root goes away. There's going to be x minus 2. Okay? So what you need to do now is what? This is a quadratic formula, right? I'm going to set x equals 0. So let's do that. So x squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 4x minus 8. Okay? Now what? We combine like terms, right? Because we want this becomes a quadratic formula. We said one side equal to 0, so it's going to be x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. Go ahead, take a second to factor that out. So it's gonna be x, that's gonna be x. I know this is positive and this is negative, so that means this has to be minus minus. Combination of 12, there's 3 and 4, 12 and 1, 6 and 2, so it looks like 6 and 2 works, right? You set that equal to 0, then you have x equals 6 and x equals 2. Okay, just to make sure that they both work, we check it, we plug these numbers back in here. Okay, if I plug in 6 here, I'm going to get 18 minus 2 is square root of 16, which is what? 4. Then I plug in 6 here. That's going to give me what? 4 square root of 4 is 2. So if I plug 6 here, I'm going to get 4 minus 2. Is that equal to 2? Yes, it is, right? Now let's try 2 there. So if I plug in 2 there, I'm going to get 4 square root of 4 is 2. I plug in 2 here, I'm going to get what? 0, 2 minus 0, that's equal to 2. So they both work. So that's your solution, 6 and 2.